And welcome to DNQ Football for another little run through the FIFA series, the new FIFA series, this time with a particular highlight on a certain European minnow in Andorra. Now, above Ryan is going to appear our preview type thing for the Sri Lanka FIFA series, which takes place in Sri Lanka. There are a couple others confirmed. Vanuatu are playing in one. Mongolia are playing in one as well. And there's a rumoured one with Guyana as well. All over the globe. A couple in Saudi. But this one we're going to talk about, featuring Andorra, is potentially one of the most random and strange in terms of maybe quality levels and what we've come to maybe expect of these kind of FIFA series. Because the Algeria edition of the FIFA series contains Algeria, Andorra, South Africa, and Bolivia. Ryan, firstly, on the FIFA series as a whole, how good do you think that this one is?
I think this one is my second favourite after the Sri Lanka one. Interestingly, I don't know if I don't want to speak for you, but the reason that we did the Sri Lanka video in isolation a few days ago, a week or so ago, when did we do that? Was because at the time we thought it was the only one, didn't we?
I certainly did as well,
yeah. And then news filtered through. I think we saw on Twitter, was it the international window that covered it really well? I don't know what their at is, but search on Twitter, the international window. It's a very good page. And they shared loads of information around it with the groups and the countries participating. So we touched on the Sri Lanka one, and that's why we did that singular video, which now looking back looks kind of weird that we didn't then touch on all of the other versions. So we do, as you mentioned, there are 3 other versions. One in Saudi Arabia with Brunei, Curacao, Guinea, and Vanuatu. One in Azerbaijan with Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Mongolia, and Tanzania. And then the one that we're going to talk about in a little bit more detail, the one in Algeria. Tom's ran through the teams: Algeria, Andorra, Bolivia, and South Africa. And of those, it is my second favorite. I do actually think the Sri Lanka one has such a beautiful mix with just simply Sri Lanka, Papua New Guinea, and Central African Republic all being in some sort of football tournament together is just wonderful. But let's talk about the Algeria one, because we can talk a little bit more about the format now as well, which we didn't really know when we recorded the Sri Lanka one, mate.
With the fact that it's 100% convinced two that games. I know now. Yeah.
They just played, but there's 4 teams, but there's 3 other teams. You know, there's team 1, and then they play 2 of the other 3 teams. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, yes, like you say, we know for a fact now that we weren't missing something in the first video. There's 4 teams, but you only play 2 of the other 3, which seem to be randomly picked because it's such a new tournament. And I will say, very limited information coming out about this. If you actually type in on Google FIFA Series Algeria, there's not like a page that comes up that's a bit of an explain all or anything like that. It's very limited information. All that we know is that they play 2 of their available games, and the minnow in this group, the European minnow Andorra, they seem to have got the luck of the draw, whatever the draw is, because they play South Africa and Bolivia, so they actually don't play against the hosts Algeria.
Is it the luck of the draw though? Because all of the other versions of the FIFA series have the lower ranked teams, i.e. Sri Lanka play Papua New Guinea and Bhutan in there, or there's that's the 4 teams, right? Whereas Andorra are with 86th ranked Bolivia, 58th ranked South Africa, and 43rd ranked Algeria, and yes, they're not playing Algeria. So they play on the 21st of March. This is Andorra. They play South Africa, and then on the 25th of March they play Bolivia, all in Algeria. It's all hosted in Algeria, which is amazing, right? I wish I'd done more research. I feel like I'm saying this on each of the videos that I come on at the moment, mate. But I'm going to make a call that these fixtures probably haven't happened before, and if that's not football, if that's not football insight, I don't know what is. Just on the whole, going back to your point there about how doesn't seem to be much of an explainer or anything like that. I feel like that's been a bit of a gap. They've come up with this idea FIFA, and it sounds like the sort of thing that we'd cook up in a lab if we were thinking, well, what could we do to make this international break as sensational as possible? Well, we'd throw a load of random teams together and get them to play each other just because we love to see new fixtures and this sort of stuff happen. But so we're kind of in the dark. We know that these are set to happen every other year in the March international window. Is what I've read online, which is also kind of random as well.
Yeah, but it's not even like they're going to be the same teams.
No. Yeah, well, they wouldn't. It wouldn't be the same teams because
it's just random.
It's just random. I don't know. I don't know how they even decide who plays who. Anyway, sorry, we've sort of. I keep hopping and jumping over this, don't I? But let's talk about Andorra.
Let's talk about Andorra
because they have 2 fantastic games against South Africa and Bolivia. Are they going to pick up a result? How are they going to get on?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I've just checked, by the way. They haven't played any of the sides in this group, so there will be some firsts here. They had a not incredible 2023, although they didn't particularly play any easy games in that time. They actually lost every other game apart from 2, which they drew. So no wins for them. They drew with Belarus and Kosovo as well. A lot of their defeats, though, reasonably narrow. I mean, a 2-0 defeat to Romania, 2-1 against Switzerland, just as a couple of examples. Not horrifically bad. And they go into this against South Africa, Bolivia, before they then take part from September onwards in the Nations League, which is a tournament which they do show their quality to be a little bit higher of some other European sides, although they've not got an easy group with Malta and Moldova in that one. I'd be surprised if they won these games, but I don't think it draws off the table because they're not a bad side. They're just, if they were in any other region of the world, they would pick up some wins and some points, as it were. They're just in Europe. And I think that's the downside.
I think they can get a result. I think South Africa, Bolivia. Not sure the squads, what teams they'll bring over, whether they'll try and introduce new players. South Africa might look at it and be like, okay, Algeria, it's a FIFA series. It's with it, it's on our continent, albeit still a fair way up. But an opportunity to blood in some new additions. They might look at the game and think, oh, Andorra, that's a European minnow, so hey, it's quite risk-free to layer in some new players. And
sorry to Andorra, interrupt. Do you? It's probably closer to Andorra, isn't it?
Algeria.
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's the same continent, isn't it? I don't really know.
That's so true.
Anyway, I think they will go into the games in the same way almost that they probably do in their qualification games as part of UEFA, excepting that both the other teams will have more of the ball, be solid defensively, and then try and get something. I mean, they don't score many goals, Andorra,
no,
but they are traditionally more, or have become far more solid than other European minnows that they've kind of left behind. The San Marinos, Gibraltars of this world, really. So I think they've got a chance. I think what's amazing, and my sort of summative statement on it, is the fact that South Africa versus Andorra feels like the kind of fixture that you'd play on either the 2010 or 2014 FIFA World Cup video game, where you've decided that you're going to be Andorra and try and take them through qualification through UEFA into the World Cup and see if you could win it, and you've pulled South Africa and Bolivia in the group stage. That and to me, that's beautiful. That's beautiful enough to me, mate, I think.
Well, that's what's happened, basically. They've played through the 2010 game, which, of course, the World Cup was in South Africa, and they've been drawn in Group A with the hosts. That's definitely the way that I see it. I mean, what I always go back to with South Africa and Bolivia, just because it's being a nerd that played with the half-star teams, I just look at these two and I just see 2.5 stars there. South Africa, Bolivia, they've always been around that level. Bolivia don't win a lot of games themselves, but they are in the hardest continent in the world to pick up any kind of results. It'll be interesting for them. It's probably worth noting that Andorra obviously play on paper the 2 easier sides and missing out on Algeria. For the other two teams, Andorra's probably their only chance to win a game, because Algeria, provided that they bring, a reasonably strong squad, that's a tough game for South Africa and Bolivia. So in terms of, I don't know if you win this series, but if you do, or have a chance to pick up some points and whatever that means for your FIFA world ranking, etc., both South Africa and Bolivia will be thinking, we do need to win that game. But I agree with you. I mean, I don't think it's like Bolivia, Andorra. I don't think that's a guaranteed Bolivia win. I think that'll be a reasonably close game.
Yeah. And Andorra, again, we say it depends on the squad, South Africa, but I mean, it depends on what Andorra. I'd make an assumption that they'll go as strong as they can, and they've got good, experienced players at still good ages. Defensively, Lavera is only 27, almost 70 caps. San Nicolas is 30, but that's fine for a defender over 70 caps. Joan Servos is only 25, over 50 caps. Garcia's been around for a little bit. Mark Garcia's in his late 30s now, over 60, 65 caps. But you've got a team you've got less older heads than some other minnows, and players that are coming sort of mid, sort of ish beyond 20s that are decent. Mark Valles is only 33. He feels like he's been around forever. Marcio Vieira, 127 caps. He's 39. Mark Puyol is 41, 113 caps. And then obviously Lima has now since retired, hasn't he? 137 caps, retired at the age of 44, 43, whatever it was. But go through like their attackers, mate. Fernandez, 22, only 6 caps. Martinez, 25, 51 caps. Alaez, 26, 57 caps. There's such experience there. I think they can do something. They can get a result, I think. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing how these go, man.
Yeah, these games are just brilliant. I mean, we've spoken about this Algeria series. It is very much an Andorra preview, because that's the main side that we care about, and we're hopeful. Again, there's a little bit of minnow bias. We hope they can pick up a point or two. It would be very easy for us to sit here and do a preview and say they're going to lose both games, but we're optimistic that they can at least pick up a point.
Yes, come on, Andorra.
But what do you think? Get your comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It does us a huge, huge favor with the algorithm. Make sure that you check out our other series previews. So far, just Sri Lanka and Andorra, but the others are on the way, and we will see you next time.